do you recommend the listener, when they start their podcast, that they edit their own podcast or offload it and just focus on just the content and let somebody else take care of the rest? And with the part of that question is, why do you recommend that way or the other way?
I definitely think it's important that you know how to edit. Even if you end up outsourcing it, it's really important for you to understand every aspect of your show. And part of that is the editing process. I did try outsourcing editing for a while, but there was content that I wanted edited that they did not know that I may not have wanted in there, or that I did want in there. You know, they are focused on the ums and the ahs, and I'm not as focused on those as I used to be. You know, it was kind of in the beginning, every ah, every every yeah, and now it's just part of your language. It's going to come out. I mean, if it's over and over again, I'll edit it. But the biggest problem I had with outsourcing was they didn't know what was in my head. They didn't have a vision for that episode. I was the only one who knew how I wanted it to sound. And that's where the perfectionist comes in for me. If you have, and also, you know, most podcasts are not making money in the very beginning. So if you can outsource and pay for it, that's great, but not everybody can do that. It's just, number one, it's really important to understand the process, because I think you have to have, in order to do a good podcast, you have to understand all the aspects of it. And two, if you know what you want to say, sometimes it doesn't come out when someone else is editing your podcast. So that's kind of why I do it. My partner does all the video. So we will interview via Zoom. She does all the editing on video, because I do think it can be overwhelming. I'm a workaholic. I'm putting 40, 50 hours a week into this podcast because I love it. It's my passion. If you're doing this as a hobby, or if you're doing this as a kind of as a side thing, it's much harder to put that time in. You don't have the luxury of that. So I understand why some people have to outsource, because they simply don't have the time not to.